Hey, this is Rainy with Learning Tech 101, and today we're going to talk about the Zero Trust security model. What is Zero Trust? Zero Trust is a security strategy based on the principles of never trust, always verify. Traditional security models assume internal users and devices are trustworthy, but Zero Trust is different. Internal devices and users are treated the same as devices or users outside of the organization. They will be required to continuously authenticate and will be subject to strict access controls. This approach will reduce the risk of unauthorized access from both internal and external threats. Why is Zero Trust a necessity? Cyber threats continue to evolve, making traditional security measures not as effective as they had been in the past. Some security factors are contributing to the growing need for Zero Trust, the rise in remote work and cloud-based applications. Insiders, such as employees, contractors, or third-party vendors with access to sensitive information, and the sophisticated methods attackers use to bypass perimeter defenses. These are just a few things that made the Zero Trust security model a necessity rather than just a security fad. Let's discuss the key principles of Zero Trust. First, to verify the identity of users and devices continuously to ensure they are authorized. Second is to enforce least privileged access. Users will only be granted the minimum needed to perform their tasks. The third principle is to assume breach. This means to operate as if a breach has already occurred, and you're going to limit access and continuously monitor for suspicious activity. The fourth is to segment the network into smaller, isolated zones to prevent unauthorized lateral movement and contain breaches. And the last principle is to monitor and analyze activity in real time to respond to any anomalies before they can cause damage. So how does Zero Trust work? Zero Trust is implemented through various security technologies and policies. Let's touch on a few that organizations use. First, we have identity and access management. This is used to ensure strong authentication. Multi-factor authentication and biometric verification are a couple examples. Next, there is endpoint security. Deploying endpoint detection and response solutions protect devices from malware and other threats. Then there are least privileged access policies that are used for access control, restricting user permissions based on roles and responsibilities. You can implement software-defined perimeters and micro-segmentation to limit the network attack surface. Real-time threat detection is a must for continuous monitoring. AI and machine learning can be used to detect and mitigate threats in real time. Like anything in the world, there are always benefits and challenges. So let's start with the benefits. Security is enhanced by reducing the risk of data breaches and cyber attacks. Visibility is improved by providing better insight into user activity and network traffic. Helps organizations meet security standards and compliance requirements. The attack surface is reduced by limiting access points for potential attackers, and supports remote access to corporate resources. Now let's talk about the challenges. Requires a shift in culture and infrastructure, and we know change is always hard. Managing authentication and verification for continuous authentication can be resource intensive. Older security infrastructure may not be able to be compatible with Zero Trust architecture. And security policies must be regularly updated and enforced to maintain effectiveness. Now that we've discussed what Zero Trust is, let's go over the steps to implementing Zero Trust. First, we need to identify which data, applications, and assets require protection. Second, we need to define access control policies. You will establish rules based on user roles, device trustworthiness, and behavioral patterns. Third, we need to deploy multi-factor authentication, biometrics, passwordless authentication methods to implement strong authentication. Fourth, we will use security analytics and behavioral monitoring to monitor and analyze activity for real-time threats. And last, we will need to continuously adapt and improve security policies and zero trust strategies. The zero trust model addresses modern threats that traditional security frameworks fail to mitigate. By removing implicit trust, enforcing continuous verification, and implementing strong access controls, organizations can significantly improve their security posture. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you found this helpful.